So welcome again, lovely Diana. So the question is around how to protect our girls, women, and against, attack from in many different ways, not just a physical attack, but uh, energetic attacks, spiritual attacks, uh, gender attacks. So, of course, this has been going on for generation upon generation and in all different cultures around the world. And the interesting thing is that why would it keep going? Why? And if you look at so many of their different cultures, their creation stories or their beginning stories, or not even just those stories, but stories throughout their culture, many times the woman or the female energy is placed in a negative light. Of course, there are situations where the male energy is placed in a negative light, but the women are generally more cunning, generally more conniving. And even when it is a man who is in their culture stories, and they describe the man as cunning and so on, actually the energy that is emitted is feminine. So even though the perpetrator or the character there is a man, they will be described like a woman. They tend to be thin and small and long finger. There is this energy about them that is very feminine in their appearance and the way that they walk. Men in most culture stories, when they're depicting men, are strong, muscular. They have an energy of courage and defiance and warlike and so on and so on and so on. There are, of course, the stories and the cultures where Mother Earth is depicted and is strong. But in those same cultures, you will find these other stories that we are talking about. So the depiction of women as temptresses, as doing the wrong thing, as being cunning and so on, has infiltrated our the entire human existence. That is actually what you are fighting. It is not the people now that are creating laws of anti-abortion who are raping and the girls and having these situations on these university campuses where it is sport and nothing is done about it. You're not actually fighting that. You are fighting this energy that is pervaded throughout the entirety of history. And in that way, women then have to be kept down. You cannot let a woman rise. You cannot let a woman excel. You cannot let a woman blossom and become powerful. Because if they do, then this is the kind of end product that you are going to have. This is what is going to happen in the end. So, of course, as a female, as a woman, that's not true. That is not who you are. Most of the people that are women that are around you, that you see in governments and you see in the local community, are not like this. So that energy has served to keep women down. Where did the energy come from? Did it come from women? Did it come from men? Of course, there is going to be based in reality. Because all stories of culture and mythology is based in some form of reality. So what to do? There are many practical things that you can do. For example, this particular situation where abortion or termination has been outlawed, not just in that place that in your country, but in other parts of the world. But let's just focus on your country. So, but in places around that state, it is not illegal. And you would have to look at the fine print of this. But if we were so outraged by this event, then we would be starting in different states where it is not illegal, funds where these girls who were in the states where it was illegal were funded to come to another state to have it done. If in the event that then they went back to their state and they would be charged, then that fund sets them up somewhere else. This might seem like a very difficult thing to do. In fact, it would be easy. You just need it funded, and you need people who are dedicated to the cause of women, the cause of protection, the cause of allowing people to live the life they want to live. Now, we're not saying that abortion is a good thing or a bad thing. We're not agreeing or denying it. What we are saying is that there are many instances where women are forced against their will and become pregnant. And of course there is going to be a stigma attached to that child. Is that what we want to bring into the human group? Do we want to keep perpetuating that energy? Is that what we want? So it's important to think about, what do we want in the human group? What do we want, and how are we going to get that? When it comes to things like the rape and like the physical rape, but of women, but also the as you say, the rape by the church and the lawmakers. When it comes to things like that, then really it is down to the community. The community are the ones that have to drive it. So the mothers are instructing their daughters, the mothers are instructing their sons, their fathers are instructing their daughters, the fathers are instructing the sons. We actually set, as a human group, we set the standard. The standard is incredibly low and has been incredibly low for hundreds and hundreds of generations. If we've decided that that's not acceptable anymore, then we have to raise the standard. What is the standard? What standard are we going to raise ourselves to? And how are we going to get everybody to that standard? And again, this might seem like I am only one person, how can I? But it starts with one person. It starts with somebody having the intelligence to say, to ask around, what is the standard that you think? What is the standard for humans to interact with each other, to live with each other, to respect each other, to have dignity? What is that standard? Because right now, this is the standard, but it's causing harm, it's causing degradation, it's causing fear and anger. All you have to look at around the world are the wars that are going on. They are the standard for the survival and the dignity of the human group is very low. And perhaps it's time to raise that standard. So how can you protect the girls? How can you protect not just the girls, but the boys who are not involved in this, but are going to be tarred with the same brush, and perhaps eventually will be pushed aside? Do we just want to create an environment where the girls rise and the boys are low? No, we don't. We want to create an environment where there is a standard of dignity, a standard of living, a standard of acceptance and understanding that is much higher than we have now, that we bring everybody up, not just one at the expense of the other, but we bring everybody up. We hope that has helped in some way. Thank you.